What is up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of my WCW debut episode of Universe Mode. So here you see Hulk Hogan saying that he's back, and he's saying that he is the champion of WCW since it is his show. Again, I use Story Mode Designer just to make the universe more interesting, and there's more cutscenes. You can add text and make the universe more like real life. And I meant to have this segment or animation begin the show, but then I uploaded the El Generico Kevin Steen match first, so this is just the segment after that match. And I made this video, not just this animation, but also another segment and then a match, so then I wouldn't have to break the episode into several parts. So Hulk Hogan's talking, saying he's the champion. I'm still trying to get the hang of Story Mode Designer. And here you see Goldberg coming out, saying that this is not Hogan's show, and then the Hogan and Goldberg will face tonight for the title, and Goldberg's saying that Hulk Hogan is next. So Goldberg and Hulk Hogan tonight, the main event for the WCW Championship. Here you see Colt Cabana being interviewed tonight. Colt faces Kenta, and here you see Colt saying Kenta is one of the best in the world, but Colt says that he's good too, so they'll have to see who's better in their match tonight. Colt and Kenta are two of the top independent wrestlers in the world, and when I made this universe mode, I decided not just to do WCW, but also Ring of Honor and TNA. So, I'll also make this video a Monday Night Raw review from last night. I watched the beginning of the show, and other than that, I saw bits and pieces of it. I was multitasking, doing several things at once. So Daniel Bryan defeated Kane, or not Kane. Daniel Bryan defeated Sheamus in an excellent match. It went for several minutes. It really looks like they're pushing Daniel Bryan. I'll talk more about that later because Daniel Bryan was featured later in the show. But Daniel Bryan beat Sheamus, and so for another Raw, he defeats one of the top stars, a former World Heavyweight Champion in Sheamus. Next, The Shield beats Tons of Funk. I think the Usos needed to be seen here to build up this Shield and the Usos match at Money in the Bank for the Tag Team Championships. At some parts, it looked like the Tons of Funk would defeat the Shield, and if that happened, I would have been really angry, but that would be totally wrong. The Tons of Funk are not a tag team that should be defeating the Tag Team Champions of Shield any day of the week. But the Shield wins on an excellent Roman Reigns spear. I really like Roman Reigns. Once the Shield breaks up, and I said this in my Raw preview, I think that the Shield's going to break up sooner rather than later. Once the Shield breaks up, I think that Roman Reigns, I think that all three actually are. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose are going to be definitely successful if they're used properly, if they're given correct characters. I mean, I think they could just go on with modifications of their current characters. Dean Ambrose being that pretty not so stable, pretty much crazy guy, and then Seth Rollins being the cocky guy and the good wrestler, almost like CM Punk, and then Roman Reigns just being a beast, being a big man, and being like intimidating. I definitely don't think they should turn Roman Reigns face at any point in the near future. He's a really good heel in my opinion, especially for such a young guy. Next, Mark Henry and John Cena went face to face to preview their WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank. So they exchanged words. Henry has really been delivering a lot of good promos, just talking well, like building up the match, saying how he sold out his family, and if he doesn't win the championship, then Henry said that he needs to win the WWE Championship to validate his career. Then Cena says, then Mark, you need to win this Sunday, because otherwise the 17 years of your career mean nothing. And I thought that was a pretty good segment. And then it was pretty cool because Cena said, this is the line, if you cross it, I'll beat you up right now. And Henry looked like he was going to walk away, and then when Cena turned his back, Henry blindsided him and World's Strongest Slam to Cena, and then held the championship for a second and dropped it onto Cena. I definitely think that Mark Henry could win this Sunday. I think it's definitely possible. But from what I've noticed, usually the guy that gets the last word on the go-home show, the last Raw before the pay-per-view, tends to be the guy that winds up losing. Not always, and not even most of the time, but that happens a good amount of the time. And I'll talk more about that later with Daniel Bryan. Remind me of the same thing. I definitely think that Henry could win, and then as I said in my Raw preview, he could lose the title to a young face that's up and coming, maybe even a Daniel Bryan. That'd be incredible. But Cena winning is also extremely likely, and the rumored match for SummerSlam is Cena versus Daniel Bryan, but also it's possible that they'll add in Mark Henry or Ryback as a triple threat match. Next, Chris Jericho defeated Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel's first loss under the name Curtis Axel, under the management of Paul Heyman. Of course, Curtis Axel used to be Michael McGillicuddy of the Nexus, and back then, after the Nexus broke up, McGillicuddy lost a lot, but this was Axel's first loss. The Miz distracted Curtis Axel when Miz was on commentary during the match, and that led to Axel losing by Jericho because of a codebreaker. It was a pretty good match. So Axel and Miz faced at Money in the Bank for Axel's Intercontinental Championship. I definitely don't think Miz should win this. Miz rarely wrestles anymore these days. I mean, he'll wrestle at pay-per-views, he'll get title shots. He wrestled last week on Raw against Ryback, but he doesn't wrestle every week. Most of the time he's either on commentary or doing Miz TV or something like that. Then all the SmackDown Money in the Bank participants were talking and arguing in the back, and Wade Barrett laid out Fandango, or Fandango, however you want to say it. I'll talk more about the SmackDown matches on Friday, but I think that was a good segment because they featured it on Raw to give it more publicity. Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio brawled. Del Rio faced off against Sin Cara, and then Dolph came to ringside and distracted Del Rio, and then the two started brawling. And then for some reason Sin Cara got involved, and he did like a springboard kind of thing and took out Del Rio, and Ziggler was standing tall. So Vicky Guerrero got fired from being the general manager of Raw. It was a pretty good segment. It had Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince McMahon give a job evaluation for Vicky, and Vince was actually defending Vicky, not being the evil guy. Triple H was totally insulting Vicky, saying that she has the most annoying voice in all of broadcasting, and I was actually laughing during that because Triple H was basically arguing with Vince McMahon, and there you had Stephanie McMahon, Triple H's wife, and Vince McMahon's daughter in the middle of it, and ultimately, both guys, Triple H and Vince, tried to convince Stephanie. They left it up to Stephanie. Then Stephanie said she didn't want to drive a wedge between her family, so she left it up to the WWE app, where the WWE Universe had the option to vote, and overwhelmingly, the WWE Universe voted that Vicky Guerrero failed as the general manager, so she was fired. And I didn't think they would reveal the next general manager. I turned the TV off after she got fired, because I didn't think they'd reveal the next general manager. And apparently Brad Maddox is Vicky's replacement. It was announced right then and there, and that surprised me. When they said Vicky was fired, I thought they'd wait a week, maybe two. I thought of several possibilities. I thought they could have gone with Paul Heyman. That'd be pretty interesting as the Raw general manager, because he's always hinting at it. I thought they could have gone with Miz. I don't want that to happen, but I thought it was possible because Miz, as I said, doesn't wrestle every week. It seemed like a possibility. I thought they could go with one of the announcers even. I thought they could go with a totally new guy. I thought they could bring back a legend like Mick Foley or somebody. But no, they went with Brad Maddox. I don't know how I feel about Brad Maddox. He's been around since Hell in a Cell when he screwed Ryback out of the WWE Championship when Ryback faced CM Punk. Then he wrestled for a bit trying to get a job as a WWE wrestler, and then he became Vicky's assistant general manager. And now he's the full-time general manager, at least for now. I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be set up for failure, because Vince said to Vicky as they walked to the back that Vince will make things right. The rumor has it that this is all building up to a McMahon family heel turn. I think Vince is going to turn heel, and he's in a feud with Triple H. I would hope that they don't have a match. I mean, who wants to see Vince McMahon, who's got to be in his 70s, maybe? I don't think he's in his 80s, but somewhere around there. And Triple H wrestling, I don't want to see that, but I'm pretty sure they're going to build up to some sort of feud. Maybe they both make a team, and they have a team of the superstars face off. I don't know. But big story of the night, the Wyatt family debuted all night long. They were showing vignettes for the Wyatt family, showing the WWE Universe and those watching the show, the Wyatt family's house. And then Kane faced Christian, Kane won, and then the Wyatt family came out into the arena, and at first it looked like Bray Wyatt, the leader, was not even there, but the two Wyatt family brothers, I think their names are Luke Harper and someone else, they came to ringside and just destroyed Kane, and they dropped a pair of steel steps on his head, and then Bray Wyatt came out saying this is not the beginning, this is the end, and I thought that was really nice and creepy. I thought it was pretty cool. And Bray Wyatt had another really cool quote. It's something like, "No one ever told the sheep that they outnumbered the wolves," and I thought that was just awesome. I think it means like even though there are only 3 guys, they are outnumbered, but they will rise and be be dominant. Someone said that they're like the Shield with beards, and that could be argued because they came out just like the Shield would and destroyed someone just like the Shield would, but they're not like the Shield because they're crazy, they're like country, they're different characters, but the way they were booked is a little similar. I could see that, but ultimately I think Kane and the Wyatt family are going to have some sort of feud. Another possibility is Kane joining the Wyatt family. That would be really cool, but it would also take the spotlight off of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, the young guys. I think if Kane were to join, I could easily see that happening, though. I don't know. What else happened? The main event was CM Punk defeated Randy Orton, and apparently it was a good match. Some guys were thinking that CM Punk has not been wrestling his best recently since he came back at Payback. I would disagree. I mean, he seems just as good as usual to me, or great, I should say. I'm a CM Punk fan. I think I really like when he talks on the microphone. He's a great talker. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, in my opinion, when he's wrestling at his best. Then, after Punk defeated Orton, Daniel Bryan comes out, lays them both out with kicks, and Bryan climbed the ladder and got the Money in the Bank briefcase. I really want Daniel Bryan to win Money in the Bank. I think it's very possible that he will. But as I said with Mark Henry got the last word against John Cena, so I don't think Henry is going to win this Sunday at Money in the Bank. And since Daniel Bryan got the last word, I'm not thinking it's very likely that he's going to win at Money in the Bank, but we'll see what happens. I really would like Daniel Bryan to win, but there are other possibilities. They could go with Rob Van Dam. I think they could go with Christian. Anybody really could win. I think Bryan or Rob Van Dam need it the most, and it would be the best for them. But returning to the video, it's Kenta versus Colt Cabana. This is just a one-on-one match, and I just wanted to have a good wrestling match. I didn't do a cutscene before or after the match except for the interview. Just this is about seeing who's the better man. But then I decided in the middle of the match that the winner of this will face the United States champion El Generico and Dean Malenko next week in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. Yes, I thought that would be really cool to have a big title match for next week, and eventually we'll have a pay-per-view. I think I did it's not Starrcade. I did do a WCW custom pay-per-view though, but that's in a few weeks away. Later today, I'll definitely be doing the Lions Connected Career Mode preseason week 1. That'll be on my channel. I'll be doing, I think I'm going to fool around with Roxio. I think I'm going to take some gameplay and video recording of Andre Iguodala doing some dunks, because if you haven't seen it, I uploaded a 76ers video for Game 2, and I got really mad at Evan Turner because he missed the last-second three-point shot that would have won us the game. He missed it. It was a good shot, but I guess it was a lack of his talent, at least at that moment. So I got really mad and traded Evan Turner. I put him on the trade block, basically, and I was surprised that the Buccaneers... Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. The Bucks offered Andre Iguodala and another guy for Evan Turner and another one of my players. And both of the secondary guys were not very good, but I really wanted Andre Iguodala. I wanted to sign him for agency, didn't have enough money, and now I traded for Iguodala, so I think I'll take some gameplay of Andre Iguodala doing some dunks and stuff like that, and fooling around with that, doing some cool video editing tricks just to learn Roxio a little better. That'll be on my channel. It will kind of be like a montage, kind of be like a trailer for my association mode, even though my association mode's already started. And I'll be getting NCAA tonight, NCAA 14 for Xbox 360. Depending on what time I get it, I might do, like, not a late night live stream, like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that, for an hour, maybe 2. I'm probably going to be busy tomorrow. I planned on doing, like, a noon time live stream tomorrow, but I'm going to be busy tomorrow, so I don't think that's going to be possible. So more than likely, I'll do a fairly late night live stream, like 8 or 9 o'clock. Stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. This video's not over yet. I mean, it goes on for a few minutes. I do like Colt Cabana, as I said in one of my videos. I'm surprised that he's not with WWE yet. because he's best friends with CM Punk. There's no reason not to sign him. He's a good wrestler, arguably a great wrestler. He's a great talker. He's been around the business for a while, pretty much just as long as CM Punk. So I think he could be, if not as equally as good as CM Punk when used properly, I think he could be very, very good for WWE. But we'll see what happens. He's charismatic. He's a good wrestler. So why not sign him? I'm just saying. In this match, I played as Colt Cabana. I wanted Colt to win. I'm more familiar with Colt Cabana than Kenta, even though Kenta arguably might be a little more famous. Almost lost the match there, though, so Kenta could have won. I tried not to, cheese. I tried not to, just not let Kenta hit any moves at all, because I wanted this match to be a wrestling match, not a squash match, not a one-sided match. So here you see a nice spinning kick or an axe kick. I don't know what. No, that's not an axe kick. I think it's a wheel kick. I don't know what Colt's finisher is called. Colt Cabana's finisher is called. I think it's called the Colt 45 or something, because his name's Colt Cabana. 1, 2, 3. Colt Cabana wins. So next week, Colt Cabana will face El Generico and Dean Malenko in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. That'll be exciting. Part 3 of this video will be Hulk Hogan versus Goldberg for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The winner really could say that this show is their show, that Friday Night Nitro is their show. So it's either going to be Goldberg or Hulk Hogan's show. So stay tuned for that. That will be a good match. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Bye.